And when Honorable Mudashiru came into the chambers, courtesies too were not extended to anyone. Rather, it was a situation or an event of letting people know that I am the emperor here. And if you remember the story of Ali Baba and the 40 thieves, you will begin to ask yourself exactly what is happening. You begin to raise questions amongst the 39 members that exactly what is happening. You should also remember their mode of dressing, which was nothing short of saying, we want you to know. We call the shot here. And I want you to know, the leadership of the party, that I am in charge. And I am the emperor, the gatekeeper of Lagos. So with that, you should have seen it coming. And exactly that is what happened today. I think it was late in coming, but it was never too late.
We understand there was a point that a vote of confidence was imposed on the Speaker, Mudashiru Obasa, that 30-something or so members actually affirmed that he is their leader. And that was late last year. All of them, all of the members except him, today voted him out. We understand that there are orders from the top that since late last year, that when they resume this year, their first agenda is the removal of Obasa. Did you hear that, Mr. Oki?
Well, let me start by saying or responding to that we are in a democracy. And that our style of democracy is also something that a lot of Nigerians are yet to fully understand. A lot of us still look at our politics as if we're still in the First Republic with the Westminster system of government or parliamentary process. We are in a democratic dispensation where we've all agreed and resolved to adopt the American presidential system of government. Having said that, you need to understand that the parliament has a very considerable degree of independence, but, and it's a big but, they all belong to different constituencies with a political firmament. They all have their leaders, both local and at the state level. So when you have issues like this, it becomes necessary for leaders to sit down and speak with their constituency representatives, with the person that is carrying their sovereignty at the legislative arm. And exactly that is what happened. Yes, leaders of the party must necessarily sit down to look at what has become of their party. And very clearly too, the Lagos House of Assembly, it's a House of Assembly that belongs to just one party. So looking at what they do, checking their ways and means, it's a necessary instrument. So if you now have your representative carrying the banner of your party and who has turned himself into an emperor, there must be some checks and balances. And one of the ways to check, such irresponsible attitude is in calling his excellencies to order. How do you do that? You speak with other members of the party that are carrying the banner and tell them or ask questions and allow them to sit back on their own to look at what will be and what is in the best interest of the party that they represent, of the constituencies they represent, and overall.
And yes. Thank you, Mr. Oki. The deed is done. Obasa is gone. So now the road to Alausa for Sheyi is becoming smoother and smoother. It's probably never really rough, but we shall live to witness it in due time. That's my own take on that. So of course, Obasa is like a butterfly that sees himself as a bird, thinking he can fly like a bird. All they have to do is just to use ant fan to snap it. Pa! To remind it that you are not a bird, you are just a butterfly. The system, the corrupt system that make you is also the same corrupt system that will make you. It's just as simple as that. Right? As they say in political parlance, and that's exactly what just happened. If the okra begins to kind of like become taller than the planter, all you have to do is just get the knife and cut it down. And that's what happens. So yeah, there is going to be more drama coming up. All right. And the moment you are out of what do you call it? Out of that influence, you see those people you call your friends, those smiling around you, and the rest of them, they will dry out. Yeah, everything will dry up, and they will be gone. In another few days, they will be gone, and you will see that it's actually a lonely world. So all the clouds that you probably think you control, they will all switch side immediately if they have not done that already. Yeah, there is no real friends there. It is lonely at the top, they say. All right. It's unfortunate that the Agege people, like other constituencies represented by these miscreants, right? The loyalty of these miscreants is not to these constituencies. No, it's mainly to one man and one emperor only. So if Tifnumbu is now becoming like a senile and all of that stuff, they need somebody like Sheyi to begin to have a foothold so that he can sustain, right, the longevity of his father's reign. There are those who believe that since Tifnumbu is likely not going to have the Abuja by 2027, and they wouldn't want to lose Lagos as well. So it's better they begin to put Sheyi's foot on the ground. I said, okay, more conspiracies, but we shall live to see the whole story unravel. Right? Anyway, here is a part of the Alaafin of Oyo, the Alaafin select or Alaafin elect. When he was in Oyo State, Oyo town today, right? So at the particular junction, this form of ritual was performed. Just quickly before we go to the next thing. Yeah, it's going to be called the Kubabayeye as well. I think that is how they praise the Alaafins. If you become Alaafin, you'll be called the Kubabayeye as well. And it's kind of surreal, right? Because for so many people who grew up knowing some of these old people as royal fathers in Yoruba, like Alaafin as well. So it's going to be somehow looking at a young man as Alaafin, then he's probably going to grow old to become very old, like our own mates, sort of. Anyway, as the opposition in Nigeria continue to give the false hope to the people who are the victims of Tifnumbu's failed, policies of failing economy and the rest of that, I am always here to show to you the snippets or, tidbits or so of why you should never believe in any group of people that call themselves opposition, that they want to fight or probably like save you from a Tifnumbu. Do not. Towards the end of the last year, I think it was the 22nd of December, somehow, there was a court order, not court order, court judgment. It was an appeal court from Enugu. Now, an appeal court in Enugu ruled that the then PDP National Secretary, right, should be removed and so person should replace him. And since then, the the guy who won the court case to become the PDP National Secretary took office. And I think I shared that on this platform a while back as well, right? And it's been everywhere telling people that they are working now to bring a PDP together in order for them to challenge Tifnumbu and others. Now, the backstory is this, okay? Werewike has his own guys in PDP who continue to tell people that Werewike is still a PDP leader, a PDP member, despite the fact that he did everything to further compromise the dying party. The acting chairman of PDP, Damagon, has ensured that he never called for, is it called Congress or convention for them to actually do an election to elect new party leadership. He has not called for one, okay? They're relying on a court order, okay, that it can continue, I think, for as long as he wants, all right? But his loyalty is to Werewike. The secretary's loyalty is to Werewike. In fact, following Werewike everywhere. Simply put, right? PDP is APC. And as long as the PDP remain divided, Tifnumbu has no problem. If anybody decided to fly or contest any election under PDP against Tifnumbu, you're just wasting your time, wasting your life, and wasting your resources. And to keep it down that way is the sole job of Werewike and some of these courts, judges in Nigeria, giving out all these funny court judgments or order. So this guy that went to court and got a court judgment, got an appeal, and it then resumed office. If you feel somewhere, you just have to kind of like go to the, after appeal courts, the next place you have to go to is the Supreme Court, isn't it? But somehow, this guy who is loyal to Werewike, right, just got a court order yesterday. Yeah, it's called interlocutory injunction. It simply means that, yes, there is a court judgment in favor of this social party, but I wanted to tell them that they cannot execute that judgment until you, an high court, but you first go to the high court. After high court, you go to appeal court. After appeal court, you go to the Supreme Court. But in the case of these Werewike's guys, they didn't go to Supreme Court. They just went to another court to seek an interlocutory injunction. Injunction, that is stop, stay of execution. You are not allowed to execute that judgment of that appeal court until the case we have brought to this court is determined. Therefore, status quo must be maintained. And boom, the wahala continues. You are a leader. You are a leader. Judicial if you don't understand politics very well, especially if you don't understand their politics in that contraption, here is a chance for you to have an idea how they run things there, okay? The courts is involved in undermining the party independence in that contraption, especially when the ruling party wants to ensure a continued division in the opposition. So the court is there to give different contradictory judgments, injunctions to keep them divided. And once they remain divided, they can never act as opposition. And if they can't act as an opposition, then the ruling party has no opposition. You, the people that believes that if the ruling party is not acting well, then you can easily, support the opposition and get rid of them. You will have no opposition to support. This is their politics. This is what they call politics in that contraption. The selfishness of people, individuals. They don't give a damn about Nigeria. They don't care about Nigeria. It's just about themselves. And they have the courts. And Werewike has the court on his side. He can get judgment from anywhere just to keep all of you confused, divided. And that is the politics. They claim to be like political gurus. So there is kind of like a rumor. It's not rumor. There is an ongoing, supposedly ongoing negotiation between Peter Obi of Labour Party. Labour Party is also divided, like courtesy of this same Tiknumbu. Then Atiku of PDP. PDP is divided. It depends on which PDP. Is it Werewike's PDP or Atiku's PDP? Which PDP Gogon is Peter Obi or Atiku's PDP? And then there is El Rufaya, Kaduna Littlefinger, also, who is in APC. At the same time, is also in SDP. Do you know that? So there is also kind of like information out there that El Rufaya is also in talks with opposition. All of them calling themselves opposition. But they are all opposition from divided political parties, divided platform. In fact, they even said that there is a chance. I heard that one, and I think I've said something about that on this platform as well. I heard that one, that there is a plan to float a new political party. To float a new political party before middle of this year, okay? Before the middle of 2025, they will start a new political party. So they will leave Labour Party. They will leave PDP. But the issue is, who is going to be the flag bearer? Atiku or Obi? Or is going to be Kwakwansop Obi? Or is it going to be El Rufaya Obi? So there are so many names they are currently, floating. But the thing is this. Majority of those who are going to also assemble themselves as opposition party or start a new political party, majority of them are also in bed with Tiknumbu. Because things have gotten to a level, right, where corrupt people, compromised people, right, are being used. The compromise on them is now kind of being pushed to ensure that there will be no tangible, any reasonable opposition that will challenge Tiknumbu at all. That is why they can't even call out a protest against the system. They can't. I said they should begin to demand for electoral reform, new constitution, but they can't. Because majority of them have compromise on them. And some, I think they are also afraid of being arrested. I don't know. So to those of you who are looking forward to 2027, I don't know the English of that one because I'm just going to probably say nonsense in English because this is the Bible quote. So those of you are hoping that election will kind of help you out of the stranglehold of Tiknumbu and his gang. So you raise your eyes to the sky and you kind of ask that where is thy help going to come from? Your destiny is in your hands, not in the hands of these guys parading themselves as opposition this or opposition that, they will use you to validate another charade in 2027. And like this, slowly like this, they will lead you into that slaughter. So if there's anyone to actually change anything right now, it will be you, the victims of this corrupt establishment, that will have to troop out and make your demand known. How? I don't know. Go out there and kind of like occupy the government houses everywhere. Yeah, with a demand that, listen, take a look at Ghana. The Ghana president that got sworn in 5 or 6 days ago. What day is this now? On the 7th. It was sworn in on the 7th of January, right? 6 days ago. In Ghana, they have 30 ministers. They had 30 ministers. They failed Akufo-Addo, the worst president in the history of Ghana, according to Ghanaians, right? He had 30 ministers. The current one has removed 7 of them because they have to cut costs. He imposed killing taxes on Ghanaians, destroyed their economy, destroyed, you know what I mean? This new one, at least, even if he's not going to do well, I mean, somehow, some of his pronouncements and his actions have shown that he's not kind of following the same path like Akufo-Addo did. 30 ministers. He said, no, I don't want 30. There's no money to pay 30 ministers. He cut off 7 of them, he left 23. In Nigeria, before Tifnumbu, Nigeria had 38 ministers. In the time of Tifnumbu, guess how many ministers they have right now? Guess, 49. And you were supposed to be cutting cost of governance, Abi? Tifnumbu has made over 16,000 appointments. 16,000, you heard me right? 16,000 appointments. All of them unproductive elements. Just come and chop, job for the boys, appointments. They are not adding any value, nothing. No. And when they asked Tifnumbu, he said, which one do you want me to remove? They are all there. They are all important to me. Yes, they are important to him. And the results, yeah, you see it. Overblown recurrent expenditures in your own budgets, you know. Anyway, good luck to you. And have you seen this video? You know, we do talk about these wastages and these 2 Nigerias, that the Nigerian law is only applicable to those who are from the southern part of Nigeria. There is a different law they are using to those who are from the Sharia North. Then the Sharia North, they started crying that Tifnumbu said tax reform is going to make them poorer. They are not going to get paid enough money because of Tifnumbu's tax reform. Because they will not be able to share as they used to share from the VAT money. Then now it's going to be how much money is going to be shared based on how much you're putting into the jar. Whatever you put into the jar will determine how much you are going to get back. They know they are not putting anything in the jar. So therefore, they probably get almost nothing back the way they used to. Because in northern Nigeria, in this Sharia North, where they have a drug epidemic, where young people, old people have become drug addicts. They will smoke anything, but they smoke latrine to get high. But they smoke dry shit. Yeah, dry shit. They go dry them. They go come squeeze them. They go lace them, they go smoke them. I'm talking about shit like poo. Or maybe not just any poo. Any poo. Yeah. You will see people that they will go and, soak away. You know that soak away has this particular heat that comes from it. And it's also northern Nigeria, right? But they go to soak away, the hole in soak away. You will see them, they will face it. Like that to get high. These are the people that are destroying people's businesses. They said alcohol is haram. And they take joy in doing it. Like they will record it. They will, they will publicize it. Need that alcohol is around, but when it comes to alcohol VAT, the VAT from alcohol, in other places where people are drinking alcohol, anyway.